Hello and welcome to the channel Ruckosaurus Rex, where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How you guys feeling out there? You see what time it is. You see it right there in front of you. We are back at it again. The return of Beasts of the Mesozoic. Got in my shipment of the Tyrannosaur series Wave 2. Very excited about that. We are going to go through them all, one at a time, of course. And we're kicking it off with the Dryptosaurus. Yes, indeed. This particular species of Tyrannosaur, I love Tyrannosaurs. They're my favorite genre, you know what I'm saying, of dinos. And, but Dryptosaurus was just, another Tyrannosaur that, of course, being a Tyrannosaur, I was going to enjoy. But reading up a little bit on it just prior to doing this review, I learned something that has now elevated the Big Drip to a higher status with me. And that's because this Tyrannosaur is the only known East Coast Tyrannosaur. The only one. They found the fossil for this guy in New Jersey. I'm from the Bronx, New York. So, yeah, it's kind of chilling to know that we've only found one. So we don't know exactly how large a region or territory they span over. But the idea that a Tyrannosaur was roaming in the Bronx back in the day is it's something. That's all I can say. Anyway, so now Dryptosaurus has more meaning for me than just being another Tyrannosaur. Looking at what we got going on here with the packaging, you could see that Beasts of the Mesozoic have done away with the sleeves. Instead, we've got artwork that adorns the our right side as we look at it. The packaging, pretty nice looking artwork of a Dryptosaurus basically chilling, resting, and looks like it's squawking at something. Anyway, you can clearly see the figure in the packaging. You have the Beast of the Mesozoic logo, and of course you have Dryptosaurus aquilungius there on the side there. Looking at the top, we've got the logo, Beast of Mesozoic dinosaur action figure, and then on the side, same old same. Turning to the back, real quick, we've got another image of the Dryptosaurus, the actual figure, and down below we've got what's left in Wave 2. So yeah, we have got quite the lineup going. We've got 6 more to do after this one, and I'm pretty excited about all of them. We've got a little read-up originally called Laelaps in 1866 by Edward Drinker Cope. I'm leaving that in to let you know we real up in here. Dryptosaurus was one of the first North American dinosaurs to be named and was also one of the first theropods ever described. But since the name Laelaps already belonged to genus of parasitic mite, which is crazy to me. I mean, they just give names to it. Doesn't matter what the species is, huh? It was renamed Dryptosaurus by Cope's rival, Othniel Charles Marsh, in 1877. Known for its unusually long arms and hands, Dryptosaurus had 20 centimeter or 8-inch long 8-inch claws. 8-inch claws on its paws. That is crazy. Similar to an eagle's talons. Hence the species name Aquilungius, which loosely means eagle-clawed in Latin. So the stats for this particular Tyrannosaur, it got to a length of 25 feet as far as we know. The weight was about 3,307 pounds, meaning it weighed 1.5 tons more or less. Location, New Jersey and Texas. Wow. USA and in Coahuila, Mexico. The time period, 67 to 66 million years ago. So it basically lived contemporarily with T-Rex, only, not in the same place. Obviously, this particular species that I'm talking about lived on the East Coast. And what else do we have there? It was named by Marsh in 1877. The features is 16 inches long, 22 points of articulation, and you've got the optional fixed pose standing legs or the articulated legs. And of course, you've got the segmented tail, and it comes with a base, detailed base. So enough of that. Let's get back to the front. We've wasted more than enough time of me fawning over the species and over the box. Let's get right to it. Before we get to the main event, let's look at the accessories. Beasts in Mesozoic, they're still doing what they always do. Traditionally, they have a backdrop as part of the packaging. This particular one, I believe we've gotten this before with, if I'm not mistaken, we may have gotten this before with Tyrannosaurus from Wave 1. I'll have to check that out and see, but this looks pretty familiar to me. We, of course, get that card that always comes with a Beast of the Mesozoic figure. That's got the artwork that we saw on the front, and on the back of this card, it'll have all that information that I read off in the opener. The pair of articulated legs, and of course the two additional pair of feet. You've got the closed-toe feet that you would normally use for when a leg is off of the ground, and then of course you've got the feet that are lifting a leg off the ground. And now here we are, the main event itself, Dryptosaurus. And I must say, this is a very, very nice looking figure right here. This Tyrannosaur, East Coast in the house. You see that Mr. Silva did not go overboard with the feathering. It's got feathering, as you can see, but it's also more or less equal parts. The lower torso, the legs, the lower legs are basically scaled, and you get more or less a little more than half the tail is scaled out as well, in terms of where the feathering ends. There is, of course, the feathering also ends from 12 o'clock going down to about 3 and 9, and then it's bare and just scaled at that point. And looking at those forearms, which is very distinctive, and for where it got its name from, long arms for a Tyrannosaur. And even on this action figure, look at those claws. We'll take a closer look at those claws later, but when I read that the claws were like 8 inches long and the arms are that long, I have no doubt in my mind that this theropod used its arms in its hunts, for sure, especially with claws that long, that pronounced. Crazy. Looking at the head, you can see that the snout, this is the long-snouted variety of Tyrannosaur, similar to Alioramus and Quinchasaurus, which we'll see later in our series of Wave 2 Tyrannosaur reviews. Got that guy too. But yeah, long-snouted Tyrannosaur, long arms. This was considered a primitive Tyrannosaur, despite the fact that it was living in the late Cretaceous all the way up to the end of the Age of Dinosaurs, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, it's looking real nice. The coloration, we got some nice browns there, and yeah, let's get our Drippy off of the base and check him out. Dryptosaurus, this particular figure, as it was read in the first segment, 16 inches long, and that estimates out to about a 24-foot long animal this represents, which is right up in there at that 1/18 scale, more or less. Dryptosaurus was estimated to grow to about 25 feet long, so this is right in there. So cool. Just means it has a little bit more to grow. Or if you're a believer that females are smaller than males, this was a female. Anyhow, looking at the figure, looking real nice, taking a look at that head sculpt, you see it's got like a mustard yellow. As far as the snout goes, the base of it, it's a darker, like a reddish brown. You've got the crest, which is gray, looking real nice, and it's, hardened crest there. Then, of course, the eyes. The eyes are blood red with black pupils. Crazy. Take a look at it head on, which is the sickness. I'm going to, if it'll stand for me. Yep, it's standing for me, but it's kind of wanting to lean back there. So what I want to do is I want you guys to get a closer look at that the face there, and this is what I'm talking about. I want you guys to see the front. You see the binocular vision. I tell you, with these Tyrannosaurs, it's just crazy, and his eyes are kind of big. It's he's looking kind of crazy to me. Anyway, that's a very good look at the at looking at a Dryptosaurus straight on. Looking at closer look at our drip, you can see those colors I was talking about, and very, very nice. Let me open up the jaw right now. We already know that this is an action figure, so it's articulated, so there's no surprise there. So we can get a look at the mouth. We've got the nice painted teeth there. Beasts in Mesozoic believe theropods had lips, so that's why you see lips covering up the mouth. Turning it to the underside, you can see the nice wet look. Look back in there. It looks pretty good. We've got the tongue, which is articulated too. The tongue actually just went up on its own in this go around, but I could push it down if I so chose. I'm going to close the mouth for right now. Just go down. You see the coloration there. This particular action figure, the coloration for it was inspired by the Harris Hawk. Look that up if you want to see what a Harris Hawk actually looks like. And but there's some nice colors there. You see that the feathering on the head and the neck is more or less like a very dark brown, or maybe it's even a black. No, I'm going to go with dark brown. Very, very, very dark brown. And then you have a striping of some of that brown, a lighter brown, going down. And looking at the throat there, you got more of that orange-like color there. And then more of the rust-colored brown. And then that bleeds into a cream-colored underside, which continues on. You see a tuft of feathering right there. That's also off-white or cream-colored, and just goes down there, turning back, so you could see all of that. The feathering right here, you see what that is, looking pretty good. And then it more or less stops, and now we're going the scale route. You got the legs there. Nice attention to detail with the stretching and folds of the skin. Looking at the back, we've got feathering going right down the back there. You see it off the top, and got a narrow band of feathering, and then it goes down the tail and then stops abruptly midway, and then we just have regular scaly tail. Going to the other side there. Sorry, I went off camera for a second or two. Creamy right there, pretty nice. And then you see with the legs, got that reddish brown. It goes down and gets lighter. The back of the legs, we've got that cream color, and then we go down, we've got that mustard orange or yellow mixed in with that rust brown. And then the feet itself, you see what the scoots are looking like. And then of course the toes, painted a nice black. Going down the arms, got that feathering all the way through. When you look at the inside of the arm, I'll move its right arm out the way so you can see that the feathering is light on the inside, and then the inside of the paw is got that mustard yellow going on, and then those claws. Look at the pronounced claws there. So Beast of Mesozoic definitely emulated what the claws are supposed to be. Like I said, I have no doubt in my mind that this beast used its arms to capture its prey, tear it up. Looking down at the bottom again, and then taking a look at that head from the other side. Peeping out the articulation on our Dryptosaurus, we saw the articulated jaw and the tongue that's in there. The head, this was crazy when I was playing with it. The neck, if you move the neck, look at the head wants to kind of sort of do its own thing right there. We have that hood sleeve for the neck. It's still continuing on with this series of Tyrannosaurs, but it seems to have been improved over the first set. You all know the issues we had with the Tyrannosaurus Rex itself. In terms of, like I said, it can go up and down. The head by itself can turn left, right, and up and down, and then in conjunction with the neck, you can get some more out of it, as you can see there. So that's pretty cool. The arms will rotate. They will flail out, as you can see there. We've got articulation at the elbow. It will swivel. The whole arm will swivel out, but so does the at the elbow. We've got articulation at the, we'll call it the wrist. And no, you cannot rotate it, which I think is great, because they could not go pronated with their hands. So their hands are fixable, but you can articulate them in and out. So I think that was great attention to detail like that, making sure it can't do it. You've got articulation there mid-torso, left, right, and slightly up, down. The legs, these are the static legs that come out of package. So you can get articulation right there at the hip, and then at the knee. You get articulation right there at the knee. And let me stop right there. Hopefully you'll still stand for me. He's almost tripoding, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you guys this real quick. The other, the legs that come, that are articulated, they, if mine will bend for me. There we go. So you have articulation there at the, we'll call it the ankle. And then, of course, with the feet up, down, left, right. So you've got that going on right there. So I'll have at least one of these on near the end of the review. Getting back to it, we're now down. Did I mention that you can move the hip out just a little bit? As far as the tail goes, the tail can go up, down, left, right. You could rotate it if you wanted to, but why would you? You've got 3 sections, and the second section you can go left, right, up, down. The third section, same thing, left, right, up, down, and it's bendy wire, so you can use that as well. And that is the articulation scheme on our Dryptosaurus. In my excitement to get these reviews of the Beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur Wave 2 series of reviews started, in my excitement, I forgot to show that, as with all of the Beasts of the Mesozoic, it comes with a display base. As you can see, it has a peg, and it's really a 2-section base. Turn it to this side. You see it's got an H clip that you could remove it. It's kind of tough here. I think I'm going to leave it for now. And but you could remove it if you just want to do something else with the base by itself. Maybe have the rock look separate or whatever. But yeah, you can see what we got going on here with the base. Pretty nice rocky detail with some moss going on. And here's Drippy on his base. I like that nickname, Drippy. I think it'll stick. What do you guys think? Anyway, enough of the clowning. But that's I've got our Dryptosaurus on its base. I've got on the left leg the articulated leg, as well as the raising off the ground foot there, to give it a little bit of just a little something there, a little something. So you get an idea of how large a Dryptosaurus was compared to a human being. We've got from the John Hammond collection of the Jurassic Park line, we have Robert Muldoon. and this is a 1/18 scale figure. So they're both right there in line with one another. So yeah, that gives you an idea how big the drip is. And to show off our Dryptosaurus with some critters from Wave 1 Tyrannosaur series, kick it off with the 1/18 scale Guanlong. And you see it's incredible how small they started off as and then what they eventually grew into. And when the wave actually came out, the Tyrannosaurus Rex was the first one to come out, and the wave followed. So going just off of taking the Tyrannosaurus Rex out of the equation and just going by the wave itself, this was the highlight of the wave. We're talking about the U Tyrannus. And speaking of Tyrannosaurus Rex itself, here's the big boy right alongside our Dryptosaurus. So like I said previously, it's amazing seeing where Tyrannosaurs came from and what they evolved to. That's just crazy. Keep in mind, the Dryptosaurus, this particular one is supposed to be 24 feet long. And look at the size of the Rex. And so some final thoughts on our Creative Beast Studios Beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur series Wave 2 Dryptosaurus. Very nice way to kick off this series of reviews. Very nice figure, and these are figures that articulated. They're not models. Keep that in mind. Very nice color pattern based off of, or at least inspired by, the Harris Hawk. Like I said before, look it up. You want to know what that looks like. The browns are very nice. We're not overwhelmed with a whole bunch of feathering, though it does have feathers. The long forelimbs is crazy, and even crazier are those talons. They're supposed to represent 8-inch claws. There's no way nature would give something that pronounced and it not be for anything. So I am totally on board and believe fully that this particular species of Tyrannosaurid utilized its arms in the hunt for sure. Ripped its prey apart, held it down while it bit it to death, something. Anyway, it looks very nice. There's a 1/18 scale figure, and like I said, this is how we get it kicked off. What do you guys think about the Beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur line, the Dryptosaurus in particular, and just what David Silva's been doing all along? He's got some nice things coming up. He's gotten out of doing entire series based on a genus of dinosaur. He's going to be mixing it up, which is cool. And he's got some nice species on point up ahead. So we will all be looking forward to that. Anyway, tell me what you think about this review, about this particular figure, about Beast of Mesozoic in general, or whatever you want to talk about down in the comments below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers and we need more viewership. That's for sure. Speaking of views, if you want to be notified for when I upload another video, there's a bell down there. Hit that and you'll be notified, and then we can start this process all over again. Once again, Dryptosaurus from Beast of the Mesozoic. Very nice figure. I'm happy we kicked it off this way. Take care, guys. Thanks for rocking with me.